Hello everybody, today I'm going to be making the COCOMELON bus, made from some cardboard, crepe paper, tape, and lots of hot glue. First I'm going to cut out all the big shapes to make the bus, and then cut a little bit of a taper on the sides, just to give it a little bit extra curve. And then mark out the area where I'm going to put the tires. What I'm using is going to be about a 4-inch tire, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. The cutout should be about 7 inches wide and 2.5 inches tall. Next, draw out where you're going to put the bus windows and doors. And then you could cut everything out. Here you could see the patterns for the bottom, sides, and the front and back of the bus. And you could just tape them all together and hot glue the corners. And that's the main part of the bus where the candy will be held. You probably don't need to use as much cardboard as I did. Usually when I make them, they're a little tough to break. And these little strips are going to be put in place to hold the windows, to recess the windows. You might want to hold on to your original cutouts if you're going to do it this way, so that way that you can match them up with the holes that you've already cut. Then I cut out little strips just to fill in the sides. That way you couldn't see inside of the piñata. You could probably just do that with paper mache or anything else if you don't want to do this step. And there you go. There's the side windows of the bus, what it looks like on the inside, and you just do it to the rest of the windows. This is the front and back window, just doing the same technique. And this is going to be for the front wheel well, to put my tires on later. And this is going to be the front of the wheel well, or the outside of the wheel well. I'm just going to stick on little tabs just to hold it out. And I made a little piece about a 1/2 inch long, just so I could trace out. That way when I'm making the wheel wells, I can make it look as even as possible. And with about a 1.5 inch piece of little pieces of cereal boxes, I'm gonna glue them to where I made that line. And then I'll curve them and tape them to the bottom half of the wheel well. And now just do it to the front wheels. And then you draw the pattern for the front of the bus. About 6 inches long. You get that all cut out. I made a marking about 4.5 inches high where I'm going to put the other pattern. Once you get that even and lined up in the middle, then you can go ahead and reinforce it with small pieces of cereal box cardboard. Like I said, you probably don't need to use as much as I do. And this is going to be the center. I put a little bit of a curve. And then these are going to be the front profile of the bus. Just kind of have to eyeball it to wherever you cut it so it matches up. And that way you could drape over all the small pieces of cardboard. And now you just start gluing all your small little strips of cardboard. I believe mine are 1/2 inch wide, maybe a little smaller. You just cut them and glue them to the front. You can worry about the front later. And there you go. And now you can work on the sides. I'm giving everything a little bit of a curve to make it look like one of the old buses from the YouTube channel. I was originally going to paper mache everything, that's why I added so much cardboard, but then I ended up just using tape, as you'll see in a little bit. And then this is the front of the bus. Just remember to give everything a little bit of a curve. And that's the front of the bus. And this is going to be for the top of the bus. I already drew out the pattern, and I'm just going to cut out a few of those to wrap some other cereal boxes on. This is where the seat's going to be for the little COCOMELON baby. And that little small hole is going to be where I'm going to put the candy in later. And then you can just go ahead and wrap each of those pieces with the cardboard overlapping. If you had larger pieces, you wouldn't need to use these side small pieces. You could probably just do it in one piece. And in the top you cut out another hole to match the other handy hole. And you can add a little flap and a little handle to it if you need to. I'm drilling 4 small holes to run my rope through, just to hold up the bus. And then at the bottom, I'm going to just glue down the rope pieces to the bottom of the bus. And then feed it through the holes that you've made. And now you gotta glue the top of the bus to the bottom of the bus. If you saw in the last shot, I had little pieces of cardboard sticking up. I'm gonna glue that to the roof from the inside, just to give it a little bit extra support. This is what it looks like from the inside. I glued all those little pieces to the top of the bus as good as I could. Just like the windows, it's always good to save a lot of your cutouts. I'm going to use this piece to make the seat. And then just have to rig something for the legs to sit in. And just glue it into place. Make sure he fits. He fits. And this is what it looks like before you start decorating it. For the lights, I just cut out little pieces of cardboard and wrapped it around soda bottle caps and glued it all together. And then after I was done, I didn't want to make it too heavy, so I used some tape instead of paper mache to decorate over with the crepe paper. Just to make sure it stays a little bit lighter. And there you go, that's what it would look like. Probably went a little bit too far with it. You don't need that much. And now you can start decorating the bus. I usually use glue sticks, it just works a little bit better for me, just so I put the glue where I need it, and it dries pretty fast. I squished up some red paper and stuck it in for the backlights. For the seat and the bottom of the bus, I wanted to make it look like I did paper mache the piñata, so I just glued in some coloring books, and that's what that would look like. And then I finished crepe papering the top. This is going to be for the side mirrors, and you just cover them with black crepe paper once you cut them out. And since I had the toy and the cardboard from the toy handy, I cut out the little logos and I used them for the front and side door of the bus. If you wanted to, you could just print them out and use those. Here I'm wrapping little strips of cardboard with some black crepe paper for the side rails of the bus. The front and back bumper I covered in silver crepe paper, and with a little lip I left on the front, I glued it to it and to the sides. And the same bottle cap method that I used for the back lights, I made the front lights with white paper. And the center, I made the grill of the bus with a little bit more of the silver paper that I had. And now it's time for the wheels. Instead of trying to cut out round wheels, I used large crepe paper that were about 4 inches, and then I just reinforced them. And on the front of the wheels, I made little circles and covered them in silver paper to look like the hubcaps. And there you go, now you have your wheels. On the bottom of the bus, I covered it with more coloring books. I couldn't find a COCOMELON coloring book. I wasn't going to cover this with the yellow crepe paper. And now I just attached the tires. And once you have that last step done, you're on your way to with a finished pinata. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it. If you can, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment or any suggestions you want me to do in the future. Thank you, and have a good party.